This week's best MMA bets, we're talking UFC Vegas 67, Strickland versus Imavov. We're back from the UFC drought. Could not be happier. I'm really excited for this card this weekend. Fight companion on Saturday that I cannot wait for. This video, we're going to talk about the most confident picks. I'm giving you guys two locks of the week because the card changed with all the matchups that fell through. I lost my favorite underdogs. It is what it is. I got some prop bets, some parlays at the end. Looking forward to talking about it. Make sure you guys smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Turn those post notifications on and make sure to share the video as well. Note this, we're going to talk about the most confident picks. I'm not including a minus 1,000 favorite or a minus 700 favorite. It's going to be playable lines that I have very, very high confidence come through. Now, for most confident pick, number one, Javid Basharat. He's about minus 305. It's really not a terrible line. Fighting a guy like Mendoza, who I think is going to play into his game, come in with a lot of pressure, and Basharat picks him apart. Really won't blow my mind if Basharat's able to stop him either. I've kind of been feeling that KO side for Basharat all week, and on Moneyline, I wrote it down when I was chatting it up with my guy Mike Finch. The knockout prop is what I'm feeling good about. It's sitting at around plus 400, which I think is a good value line. The way Mendoza fights, I definitely can see him getting knocked out by Javid Basharat. It gives you a lot better value than the money line, but could it go the distance? Absolutely. Basharat's got 2 decision wins, and it's not like he's, incapable of winning by sub either, but I do like the value of that KO side. Plus 400, money lines minus 300, looking at around minus 305, depending where you're at. Good play if you're going heavy on a money line, but definitely I think it's going to be more so of the parlay piece to include, which we'll talk about at the end. The next of the most confident picks, I gotta go towards the side of Charles Johnson over Jimmy Flick. I do think stylistically it can favor him, but the line is just really, really wide at this point that I would really just suggest you guys including him more so in like a longer shot parlay. Definitely do some without him. I mean, if Jimmy Flick can come back with a mean vengeance, maybe he spoils everything, but I know everyone and their grandma is on Charles Johnson. So be cautious with this one, sitting around that minus 300-ish range, minus 330, minus 320. It'll vary depending where you're at. I do feel like Johnson by KO would be a good idea because Flick has been knocked out 4 times previously, but it's only at plus 110. This is not one that gets me super excited, but still was in the playable value line side where I wanted to mention it. Now, I want to jump right to lock number 1. I'm giving you guys 2 locks this week, and I'm going to ride lock number 1. If you watch the money line, you know it. It's Punahele Soriano over Roman Kopylov. I like his chances here. He's sitting in that minus 150 range as the favorite. I think he's got a good shot to pull this one out. I like Punahele Soriano a lot. I think the power punching style beats the kickboxing style on the other side of Roman Kopylov. So Soriano, for me, is going to be a high confidence lock. I also feel like looking at it, the knockout prop doesn't seem crazy. That's plus 200. I would rather hit the money line hard though and play, a plus money prop like a Basharat KO for a little more value, but still, I like the chances. Plus 200, maybe you would include it inside of your bet. You're throwing money line, you add a little sprinkle on that knockout too. I think Soriano to win, high confidence. I'm calling him a lock, and I think him by knockout is pretty likely too. That's lock number 1, and that's what I'm feeling damn good about. Lock number 2, it's going to be a value lock, but also a girl that I think can do this thing. I feel like she's going to be the number 1 contender with the win. Ketlen Vieira, minus 125. She's fighting against Raquel Pennington. It's near even money here with this matchup. I like the chances of Ketlen Vieira going out there and being able to beat Raquel Pennington, probably via decision. I would lean you towards money line over anything else. The prop win by decision is there, and it's not great value, but it's also not horrible at plus 155. I have a hard time seeing Raquel getting stopped, but I think Vieira is going to match her with the clinch strength. I definitely think she's got the better Muay Thai, and I think Ketlen Vieira is the next girl to challenge Amanda Nunes. With a win here, that's what's coming next. For Raquel Pennington, She's on a nice little 4-fight streak, but I think she's run into a girl that's in her, peak at this point. It's really at least coming into the peak. Seems like she has the goods to challenge for the belt. I think Vieira is an interesting matchup for even Amanda Nunes. So interested to see what happens, but high confidence Ketlen Vieira does it. We're going to call her a lock this week. In the dual locks, I had to bring you guys two because so many of these fights are just disgustingly wide lines that it's really not worth a touch. Now, when I jump to the dog side, which we're going to talk about now, we're kind of in Shitsville, USA. I was loving Kelvin Gastelum to win it as a dog. I was on, a dog earlier on in the week, Dan Argueta versus Isaac Dogalarian, and Dogalarian pulls out of the fight. So we're losing my dogs that I'm really feeling good about. And I'm not just going to go out and tell you guys, oh, for value, go Priscilla Cachoeira. If you think she's going to win, ride with that. She's plus 210. I picked against her. I went Eubanks on a decision. I know some people hated that pick. Some people love it. Doesn't matter what side you're on. It's still not going to be like a dog of the week. I'm not giving you a fake dog. For this one, I'm in Shitsville, USA, as I said, because the dog money is Claudio Ribeiro, and he's really about even. He's sitting at around minus 105 with Al Hassan on the other side at minus 115. So it's like essentially even money, but like a pseudo dog, which is why I wanted to make it up to you guys. We're bringing the two locks. I do actually feel really good about Ribeiro to win, and also the KO prop I think is a quality idea. Let me look at it right now. KO prop sitting at plus 130. Yeah, it's not that good. I was expecting it to be a little better. I do think this fight's going under 2.5. That's minus 475. You ain't playing that. That's crazy wide. You're not playing that shit. Minus 220 under 1.5. Claudio Ribeiro, money line, or Claudio Ribeiro. You can add in the knockout, but the value's not great. I think just money line it. He's essentially a pick'ems fight, right? But he's a little bit of a dog, so he's the pseudo dog of the week. And yeah, don't be mad at me because I'm making it up to you guys with the two locks. But yeah, I like Ribeiro with high confidence. He's a dog that I'm feeling good about. It's some interesting fights, right? You have a ton of pick'ems matchups like Sean Strickland and Nasruddin Imavov, and then you look at Umar Nurmagomedov, Barcelos, it's minus, 1,000 to plus 700. So you got some mismatched odds on this one here. But I think we sniped out some good ones to attack money line wise, which are the ones, I talked about with the locks, and then the dog. And the most confident picks are definitely more parlay pieces. They're real wide to attack money line. But I mean, you wouldn't be crazy to throw money line heavy Javid Basharat. I do think he's going to definitely get the win. And I will give you guys the truth. I would say I'm a little more confident towards the Basharat side than the Charles Johnson side, just because of the unknown factor with Jimmy Flick coming in. But still, confident on both those guys. Some interesting money line attacks. I really feel like bet intelligently this card, but there's some close money favorites that I think you can cash nicely on. I feel like if you're looking at the prop side of things and like you're trying to come up with some wild ass props to attack, stick with the ones that I talked about, because I really feel good about those fights that I mentioned. If I had to like look at one where I'm like, okay, this is another prop that I'll mention that's outside of the slate of what I've already talked about. It's Nascimento, Carlos Hernandez over 2.5, minus 170. Yes, it's not great plus money. I do think Nascimento wins via decision. I'll read the line out to you guys. That line is sitting at about plus 125, which is not all that good. And he does have a chance for sub, but that's only plus 225. I like the over in that fight. So that's like a little extra prop to throw out to you guys. Another one that I was kind of thinking about, which I will still mention here, even though I'm not crazy about it. It's Dan Ige to win by knockout, which is plus 350. He's got some KOs. He's got a bit of pop in the hands. I think he could catch Damon Jackson. So I guess the value prop bet of the week that's outside of what we already mentioned, we'll do the Dan Ige knockout at, that plus 350 range. But yeah, the other ones that I already talked about with the, most confident picks, lock and dog, I like those better. Let's talk some parlays though, because I really feel like I've come up with a quality parlay that I want to say is like pretty damn near what you can call is the lock parlay, because I want to give you guys the heat for the $100 parlay. So Soriano, obviously you guys know, I feel very, very, very good about. And if you add in the side of Javid Basharat, it's plus 115. Safe side, 2 fighters. I think you can go hard at this one and come through. I think there's a good chance. Plus 115, decent money. Okay, you want to add some more steam to it. You're like, listen, I need value. I'm not here to just play, you know, these wide favorites and one close money. You can add in Vieira as well. That'll bring you now to plus 300. It's Ketlin Vieira, Javid Basharat, and Punahele Soriano. I think that's a solid 3-fighter play. Anything more than the 3-fighter play, you guys know it. I say it all the time. We're shooting, you know, Hail Marys. We're throwing, you know, lottery ticket plays out there. We can add in another confident pick of Charles Johnson. That brings you to plus 415. If you're like, listen, I need more than just that. I want to add in, you know, Claudio Ribeiro plus 860. Now we're in wild man territory, but I want to come up with like the craziest play possible because, you know what? Why not? Why not? Let's go Alan Nascimento as well, plus 1155. Is there anybody else I really want to add in? Not really. I really don't want to add anybody else in, but if like you have to, you go for like the crazy wide favorite of Umar Nurmagomedov, which is not barely giving you anything, plus 1285. And then you're like, all right, let me go for another one. Mateusz Rebecki, plus 1475. Yeah, I'm not recommending this. I'm not recommending this wild man parlay, but I have it right here. It's Punahele Soriano, Javid Basharat, Ketlin Vieira, Charles Johnson, Claudio Ribeiro, Alan Nascimento, Umar Nurmagomedov, and Mateusz Rebecki. That's 9 fighters. Close those eyes and hope for the best. Plus 1475. So yeah, mad wide. Keep it on the safer side with your bets this week, guys. It's the first card back to the year, and I think you got to come in conservative because, I don't know, shit's weird already with 2 fights getting dropped and switching of opponents, which has definitely thrown shit off for me because I was excited to place some dog money bets on especially Kelvin Gastelum. That was going to be my dog of the week, just to spoil it for you guys. I was feeling good about Kelvin upsetting Nasruddin Imavov, and now we got Sean Strickland taking it on short notice, who I'm hearing in an interview is saying, oh, I'm not even ready for, he's like, he's hinting at I'm not ready for 5 rounds. Yeah, I'm not in that type of show. I was just eating pizzas. So he's expecting to throw down. It is what it is. We shall see what happens. I hope you guys enjoyed this week's Best MMA Bets. Definitely let me know what you think of the 2 locks and the pseudo dog in the comments. And I want to know, what are your guys' locks? What are your guys' dogs? What are your favorite bets to place? And also throw your parlays out because I'm curious what the people are doing. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace, guys.